There's something magnetic about the way a high-value woman communicates. It's not just about what she says, it's about how she says it. Her tone, her presence, her words all carry a unique weight. She speaks in a way that naturally earns respect, admiration, and genuine attention. This isn't manipulation. It's about knowing your worth and communicating from that deep, unshakable place of self-respect. Today, we're uncovering exactly how high-value women talk to men and why it changes everything. A high-value woman communicates with a natural confidence that sets her apart. She doesn't need to raise her voice, over-explain her choices, or constantly seek validation from the person she's speaking to. Her tone is calm, her words are intentional, and her presence is enough to command attention without force. This is not about arrogance or trying to prove superiority. It's about knowing her worth so deeply that it naturally shows in every conversation she has. When she speaks, she does so with the quiet power of someone who respects herself, and because of this, others tend to mirror that respect. She isn't rushed to fill every silence, nor does she feel the need to constantly justify her feelings, thoughts, or boundaries. She speaks in a way that shows she believes in what she says, and she doesn't second-guess herself to make others more comfortable. When a high-value woman engages in conversation, she's not talking to gain approval or to manipulate the outcome. She is grounded in who she is and what she believes. Because of this, she doesn't fumble for the right words to please someone or soften her standards to avoid rejection. If she has an opinion, she shares it, and she does so with clarity and grace. There's no begging energy in her voice. She isn't trying to convince someone of her worth because she already knows it. This energy is what often draws people towards her. It's attractive because it feels steady and real. Men especially notice this difference because it's rare to find someone who can speak from a place of quiet certainty instead of emotional panic or neediness. This confidence isn't about being cold or detached. A high-value woman can be soft, kind, and approachable while still holding her ground. The power lies in her ability to balance warmth with self-respect. She's not afraid of a man's response, whether it's positive or negative. She understands that the right person will appreciate her as she is, and she doesn't have to perform to be accepted. This allows her to talk to men in a way that feels natural, without pressure or hidden agendas. She knows that not every conversation needs to lead somewhere. Sometimes it's just a moment, a simple connection, and it's perfectly fine with her. When faced with disagreement, she doesn't crumble or become defensive. She can hold space for different opinions without losing her sense of self. She doesn't argue just to prove a point or win approval. She shares her perspective and leaves room for others to think about it. This calm, self-assured energy is often what leaves a lasting impression. She can smile, she can walk away, she can say no without guilt or fear, because her worth isn't tied to whether someone stays or leaves. This is how a high-value woman talks to men. With quiet strength, with honest expression, and with the inner peace that comes from knowing she doesn't need to chase love to deserve it. A high-value woman understands the power and importance of setting clear boundaries. She knows that her peace, self-respect, and emotional well-being are not up for negotiation. When she speaks to men, she communicates her boundaries directly, without hesitation and without being harsh. There is no confusion in her words. She does not leave space for misinterpretation. She expresses what she expects what she will accept, and what she simply won't tolerate. This is not done in a way to control or test anyone. It's simply the honest expression of her standards. She does not wait until someone crosses the line to start speaking up. From the beginning, she makes her position known, and this gives men the opportunity to either rise to her level or walk away. She is not afraid of either outcome because she values her peace more than temporary attention. There is a quiet confidence in the way she expresses her limits. She doesn't need to shout, blame, or create drama to be heard. Her boundaries come from a place of deep self-awareness and self-love. She understands that saying no does not make her difficult. It makes her clear. A high-value woman does not say yes just to keep someone interested or to avoid disappointing others. She speaks her truth even if it might not be what the other person wants to hear. She knows that if a man is truly right for her, he will not only hear her boundaries, he will respect them. She does not shrink to fit into someone else's comfort zone. When she talks to men, she doesn't apologize for having standards. She's not worried about being called too much or too picky. She is not playing games or trying to appear more agreeable by softening her stance. Her boundaries are not walls to push people away, but gates to protect her space. She does not explain her boundaries with long stories or try to soften them with nervous laughter. She simply states them with grace and calm certainty. This can sound like, "I don't tolerate disrespect," or "consistency is important to me," or "if you're not serious, I'm not interested." These statements are firm, but they are not aggressive. They are delivered with ease because they are a natural part of who she is. A high-value woman does not make threats or set boundaries she cannot enforce. She means what she says and she follows through. This consistency teaches people how to treat her. Men know where they stand with her because she does not send mixed signals or keep moving the line. When a man tries to test her boundaries, she does not beg him to stop or explain why he shouldn't. She simply removes herself. She understands that enforcing a boundary is not about convincing someone. It's about protecting herself. This ability to communicate boundaries clearly, respectfully, and firmly without guilt is what makes her communication powerful. She talks to men like someone who knows she is the prize. And this naturally earns her deep respect. A high-value woman speaks with graceful honesty. She does not play mind games, sugarcoat her words, or hide her feelings just to maintain a man's interest. Her honesty is delivered with kindness, but it is always clear and direct. She knows that honesty is a form of self-respect and a reflection of how much she values her own voice. When she talks to men, she tells the truth about what she feels, what she wants, and what she expects, even if it's uncomfortable. She does not twist her words to make them sound more acceptable. She is not afraid of the reaction her truth may cause, because she understands that honesty naturally filters out the wrong people. She does not manipulate conversations to create a false image of herself. She shows up as she is, and she trusts that the right person will appreciate her authenticity. She does not believe in pretending to be someone she is not. If she is not interested, she says it politely but firmly. If she is hurt, she says so without trying to make the other person feel guilty. Her honesty is not about being blunt or careless with her words. It's about creating real connections based on mutual understanding, not on false performances. When she speaks, her words carry weight because people know she is sincere. She does not give fake compliments, false hope, or empty promises. She says what she means, and this creates trust. When a man is talking to her, he feels safe knowing she will not hide her truth behind layers of silence, of fake approval. Or graceful honesty also means she is aware of timing and tone. She does not lash out in anger, nor does she use honesty as a weapon to hurt others. Instead, she speaks with calmness and composure, even when the topic is difficult. She understands that honesty is most powerful when it is delivered with emotional maturity. If something bothers her, she addresses it early, instead of letting resentment build. She does not stay silent to avoid conflict because she knows silence often creates bigger problems later. By addressing things with honesty in the moment, she keeps her relationships clean, healthy, and real. She does not play the silent punishment game. She does not wait for men to guess what is wrong. If she is upset, she calmly communicates why. This saves time, reduces drama, and shows that she respects both herself and the person she is speaking to. She does not expect men to read her mind or figure things out through hints. She understands that clear communication is a gift, not a burden. What makes her stand out is her ability to tell the truth while still holding grace and softness in her delivery. Her honesty does not push people away. It pulls the right people closer because it feels safe and trustworthy. She does not perform, she does not beg, and she does not create false versions of herself just to keep someone's attention. She shows up fully, speaks her truth, and allows others to decide if they can meet her where she stands. This is the quiet strength of a high-value woman who speaks with graceful honesty. A high-value woman carries an energy that does not chase or cling. She understands the natural flow of attraction and connection, and she does not try to force anything. When she talks to men, she is present, engaged, and interested, but she never positions herself in a way that feels like she is begging for attention or affection. She does not over-pursue or try to prove her worth to someone who is unsure about her. Instead, she allows space for the man to invest, to pursue, and to show genuine interest. She knows that healthy relationships are built on mutual effort, not one-sided chasing. Her energy says, I am open, but I will not chase you. This is a silent but powerful message that man can feel even if she never says it out loud. When a high-value woman is interested in someone, she shows it through her warmth, kindness, and attentiveness, but she does not cross into the space of desperation or over-effort. She does not flood him with messages, force conversations, or rearrange her entire life to gain his attention. Her energy remains centered. She does not chase because she knows her time, attention, and presence are valuable. She gives space for the man to come toward her. She allows him to experience the natural desire to pursue. She understands that over-chasing often leads to imbalance, and she is not willing to carry the emotional load of a relationship alone. If a man pulls away or becomes inconsistent, she does not panic or chase harder. She does not try to fix the distance or beg for him to come back. She simply mirrors his energy and adjusts her level of investment accordingly. She knows that anyone who is truly interested will return with real effort, and anyone who does not was never meant to stay. She does not try to convince anyone of her worth. Is uncomfortable. Her self-esteem is intact and she knows she is not for everyone. This self-assuredness gives her a peaceful and detached strength that is incredibly attractive. She also understands the difference between being open and being overly available. She does not always drop everything to accommodate someone else's schedule. She has her own life, her own priorities, and she maintains them regardless of how much she likes someone. This shows that she respects herself and expects others to do the same. Her ability to stay balanced, even when she is attracted to someone, makes her stand out. It shows that her world does not revolve around getting attention from a man. Her minimal chase energy is not cold. It is inviting but self-contained. She gives the relationship room to grow naturally without controlling it. She is not in a hurry to secure commitment through force or pressure. She knows that the right connection will flow without being pushed. This is how she communicates with her actions. She speaks with interest, but moves with patience. She talks to men like someone who knows she is already enough without needing to chase love to prove it. This balanced, confident energy is what makes her unforgettable. A high-value woman is an intentional listener. She understands that true connection is built not just by speaking well, but by listening with presence and care. When she talks to men, she does not dominate the conversation or make it all about herself. She is genuinely curious about the other person's thoughts, feelings, and experiences. She gives space for him to speak without interrupting or rushing to fill every silence. Her listening is not passive, it is active and thoughtful. She listens to understand, not just to respond. This makes people feel seen and valued in her presence, which is rare in a world where many are only waiting for their turn to speak. When she listens, she is fully present. She is not distracted by her phone, by wandering thoughts, or by rehearsing her next sentence.